Hi, hand readers. There's a saying in hand reading that's quite well known. It says, fingers are best worn straight. Basically, through the lens of the five-element system, when fingers lean or bend to either side, they are borrowing from the energy or the element associated with the adjacent finger. Today's topic, bent middle fingers. If you don't know me, I'm Jennifer. I've been reading hands for many years. I'm based in Johannesburg. I offer online readings, courses, and of course I consult personally here in Johannesburg. I myself have bent middle fingers, as do both my parents, so there's an interesting possibility of inherited factors involved. And it's often said that if just the tip bends over towards the finger, the ring finger, the person will get published. It's the marking of the scribe. You might think of it as an occupational hazard if you think of the scribes of old sitting poring over their manuscripts and holding a pen, and eventually that finger would start to bend slightly towards the adjacent ring finger or finger in our system. Middle fingers are governed by Earth in the five-element system and by Saturn in the traditional palmistry system. Through the lens of the five-element system again, the middle finger being governed by Earth is known as the finger of cultural identity. So the finger represents something of our grounding, of our formative influences, and when it bends over to the ulna, which is the baby finger side of the hand, something is a little bit unsteady. It's almost like the very ground in which we are grounded or stabilized is in some way fissured. The soil is not strong. It's as if the roots are not contained in strong soil, in strong earth, which in turn could lead to elements of insecurity and dependency. Another meaning is that this could be a sign of a person who's been exposed to many double standards in childhood. Again, that would relate to one's sense of inner stability. When parents have lied, when parents have been deceptive, had affairs, this can in turn lead to some rebelliousness in the child. So another meaning that goes with bent middle fingers is attraction to the wrong people, hanging out with people that are not really savory in some way. A history perhaps of not being selective or discerning enough, and even getting into detrimental situations as a younger person. Another interesting take is that when the earth finger bends over the fire finger, in nature, earth puts out fire. Therefore, this bent middle finger inhibits the person's spontaneity, inhibits their joy, and inhibits the creativity that is represented by the fire finger. It's as if happiness is made guilty by duty. I love that saying. Happiness made guilty by duty certainly has applied to me in my life, and I'm sure those of you with bent middle fingers will relate to this, that we're always wanting to do our creative activity, but at the same time, duty always comes first. We might feel pressurized by demands with a deep sense of conscientiousness. Another meaning that goes with this, which is a little bit of almost like the polarity of this deep conscientious dutifulness, could be that the person has had difficulty in their life of taking to duty and of being bound by routine. And then comes the big meaning for bent middle fingers, which ties very much in with this dutiful, conscientious nature, and that is the big inner critic, the very vicious, horrible, cruel, nasty inner critic that is so alive. So there's so much self-criticism that goes with having a bent middle finger. There often is that voice, that little voice that says, am I allowed to? Do I deserve this? Am I a good enough person? Quite a challenge to live with bent middle fingers. Another very accurate meaning for bent middle fingers is that owners, like myself, need alone time. We are a little bit more introverted and a little bit more perhaps even shy, and also a little bit of an inclination towards melancholy and even depression. Lastly, earth governs digestion in the five-element system, so it can also be that with a bent middle finger, as well as cross-referencing as always to other markers on the hands, that the owner has some weakness of the digestive tract. In very rare occasions, the earth finger will pull over, bend over towards the index finger, and this is an indication of a much more extroverted type of person, but it's a very rare marking indeed. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. In the next video, I'll be talking about the length of the earth finger, the middle finger, the Saturn finger. See you then.